In addition to lead management, Captaloans also provides loan management. So if I click on the Loans tab, I'm going to be taken over to the Loan Management page, where I can see all the open loans or loan modifications that we have in our organization. I'm logged in as Bill, which is an administrator, so I can see loan files that are assigned to myself as well as other people. The colored icons are date-driven, designed to give you just a visual cue of how old a file is. As they grow more than 30 days old, these icons will turn to yellow, then to red. I can go ahead and click on a loan number here over on the left to take us into the detail view. Once we're in the detail view of the loan, I can see who it's assigned to. If I want to assign a backup person, I can. I can see the purpose of the loan. I can make any changes. All this information could have been copied over from the lead if we had converted a lead. This would have all been moved over from the lead. I can, again, capture hardship, maybe their mortgage history, their credit profile. If you want to capture modification fees, you can do that here. You can input some modification fees. If you click this view icon, it'll give you an installment drop-down. So let's say they're paying in installments. We can go ahead and capture their, say, first installment and maybe put in some comments here. Once I hit save, this balance will be updated. Scrolling down a little farther, we've got the borrower info. I'm going to go ahead and populate the email address here, and I'll show you why here in a second. Once we go ahead and populate that, I can then allow the borrower to have access to view the status of this loan. Scrolling down here, we have the status area and the checklist. So this loan was opened back in January. If we click on the View Checklist icon, it'll expand a document checklist for us. And this is our list of common documents or tasks that might be required for the loan. Over on the left, you mark them as being ordered, and once they're completed on the right, you can check them off. The top of this list, this is more for traditional mortgages, refinance, things of that nature. Down at the bottom, underneath the conditions section, we've got an area just for loan modifications. So as the loan enters the pipeline, you can mark off items here on the left as being required. It'll put in a date when you first stamped them, when you first ordered them. And as the client or your staff then delivers them, then you can mark them off as the right is being completed. So we've got a list of common tasks or milestones for a loan mod. We've got a couple down here that you can key in your own custom requirement, anything that you want to type in. So if I scroll back up, I'm going to go ahead and we'll hide this. Let's go ahead and say this loan has been submitted. We can put in some comments in here. I'll click the icon here to give me a time and date stamp to note that I have emailed the client. If I go ahead and hit save and continue, it's going to go ahead and update that information. And then notice now, we now have an email link here to email the loan status instructions to the borrower. So if I click on that link, it's going to launch my default email client, which in my case is Outlook, and it's going to give us a link to the borrower. It's basically saying, Dear Jack, here's a link, check the status of your loan. You're going to be asked to provide two pieces of information to verify your identity. One's your email address, and then the other is your loan number. So in the email, we're giving them the loan number. So if I go ahead and grab this link, I'll kind of simulate what the borrower would see. Go ahead and open up a new browser window here in my browser. This is a page that the borrower would be taken to. The name of your organization would be listed up here, and then the borrower can then put in their email address and loan number. So I'll go back here, I'll kind of grab the email address and loan number, and we'll kind of log in as the borrower to kind of simulate what they would see. So now I've gone ahead and logged in as this borrower. Now I'm being taken to a screen where I can see the status of my particular loan. I can see some of the dates it's under review here. March, here's the comments that we put in. Here's the checklist of items that pertain to them. Notice only being shown the checklist items that are actually marked off. They don't have to wade through a lot of items that don't pertain to them. So they can see there's 4 items that are marked as requirements. Here's the custom one that we put in. 2 of them have been marked off as completed. So you can use this as a collaborative tool to communicate with the borrower and also let them know that you're actively working on their case file. This information here is real time. So if I were to go back to the client's loan, let's say they've now been pre-approved. We can go ahead and let's say it was pre-approved on the 20th. We can add in some more comments here. Let's go ahead and update their document checklist. Let's say there's a few more items that we need from them. And maybe a couple of these have been completed up here. And go ahead and hit save and continue. Now let's say the borrower were to go back to their page and log right back in. I don't need to resend the client the email again or anything. This is all real time, so the borrower can then just use this link and check in as often as they like or as frequently as they like. You'll see I just updated the status, and now the borrower's gone and logged back in, and now they can see again the most recent status. Here's the now in pre-approved status. Here's the comments, and here's the updated checklist. Now, area down here, you can see there's an area for documents. So if we want, we can share documents with the borrower as well. The way we do that, we go into the loan area. Down below the comments section, we have an area here where we can upload and attach documents. So if I want, I can go ahead and browse out and upload a document, let's say. And then this document's now going to be uploaded. We can make it available then to the borrower. So the way we do that is first thing we do is we publish the document. So we actually are saying, let's go ahead and make this document available. And then we're going to go ahead and then allow it for the borrower to be able to access it. So I'll check the box here for the borrower to access it. I can hit save and continue. Now if I come back here to the borrower, I'm just going to hit F5 to kind of refresh, save me the task of logging in and out. And now you can see here's the document that's made available to them. So now I can go ahead and click on this. I'm the borrower, and then I'll get the option to go ahead and download files. So we can use this feature here, this customer status feature, as a way to communicate with the borrower, allow them to check status, share documents with them. This page here is wrapped under SSL, so it's secure, it's encrypted, and your borrowers can refer back to it as often as they like. In the email, we tell them they can bookmark this link if they want, and they can just refer back to it. This link is never going to change, so it's going to be the same link for every one of your borrowers. The borrowers, each one of them, they apply their email address and loan number, and that's how we determine which information to display. So this link, you can put this link on your website if you like, and maybe put some friendlier text around it, say customer status, click here, or you can email it out and just tell the borrowers to go ahead and bookmark and save it. So for this particular one, we are using the borrower to view the status of the loan. Now in Captaloans, we give you 3 of these. We'll call them guest logins. So the first one was the borrower. We give you 2 more. They're down here in the underwriter section. If I were to populate this email field, I'll get another link here that I can allow another person to log in. And then also the referral section. So let's say just to give you an idea, let's say I referred this loan over to you, and I have an interest in keeping up to date on the status of this particular loan. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And now just by doing that, I've gone ahead and I've granted my email address access to view the status of this loan. So notice I have the link here now kind of indicating that I also have status. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as my email account now, and I'm going to leave this box unchecked. Let's say I don't want this the referral person to have access to the published documents. If I go back here, I'm going to go ahead and put in the same loan number, but now I'm going to put in my email address. Now I'm able to access this loan and view the status. Notice I do not have access to the documents, the published documents. So in a sense, this loan now has two guest accesses who can monitor the status of the loan. So you can use these any way you like. We give you 3 of them per loan. So this is a very powerful feature. You can allow multiple parties to view access to the loan. This page here, it's a view only, so they can't make any changes. They can't do any damage, anything. It's encrypted. It's all wrapped under SSL. So it's a nice tool that you can use for your customers, or say any third party that you want to allow access to kind of keep up on the status of the loan. This comment section here, this is the public one, so these are made available to the borrower or third party. If you want to make internal comments that you don't want visible to your clients, you can use this box here. I'll give you the same icons here, so you can put in some time and date stamped comments if you like. The co-borrower, you can capture some info here, underwriter, campaign, and again, we can upload and attach documents. So once I go ahead and hit save, it'll update my loan information, take us back to the open loans section that we have. These are all the open loans that we have in our pipeline, their kind of status. I can sort on any of these columns that are underlined. So say if I want to sort on status, I can go ahead and resort on those particular columns. If I want to search for a loan, I can click over here and search for a particular client. Once you have a loan that's gone through the process and it's finished up, it's either been completed or funded, we don't delete a loan like the leads. Instead we just change its state over to closed. So I can change the state from open to closed. Now this loan is not primarily assigned to me, but because I'm a manager, I have access to go in and change its state and basically close it. So if I go ahead and hit close, this particular loan is no longer now showing up in our active list. If you do need to go back in, refer to say a loan that you've closed out, you can go into the close section. And here's all our closed loans, and you can open them back up. Here's the one that we just closed. So if I want, I just click on the loan number, open it back up, and go into the details view. If I want, I can change its state back to open. I can say reassign it over to Ryan and hit save. Now that loan's going to show up in Ryan's bucket when he logs in as one of the active loans in his area. We go back on the loans page. The active loans that we have in here, these can be populated by clicking on new. Loan. It's very simple to use, simple to train your agents. Yet very powerful. Once you go ahead and get some of the status inputted, you can then allow the customers to begin checking status. You can use the permission groups to control who can see what here on this list. So if we are logged in as a user that just has, say, loan officer permissions, I'm just going to see the loans that are assigned to me. So say, as an example, if I were logged in as a different user, say just Bill Adkins was just a loan officer, I would just see the loans that were assigned to Bill, but I would not be able to see any other loans. So you can use these permission groups to kind of control who can see what. I'm logged in as a manager, so I can see the loans. I can see Ryan's loans, Mark's loans, but you can use permission groups. We'll talk about permission groups in another demonstration.